Hello.
Do you want to do it? That'd be pretty spooky.
Sure, I'll do the hello. And I'll
do the whole intro.
I haven't written it down.
Welcome to Potato Chip Pictures, the movie franchise review podcast. I am B. Sammy Davis.
Hello again, I am Justin.
And for this extra spooky episode, happy Halloween, everybody, we are doing our wrap-up of A Quiet Place, the movie franchise.
Oh, and it is Halloween. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for you and I, recording, obviously it is not spoiler alert. We don't release this as a live radio program. But you in our relative future and your present might be listening today on Halloween, and if not, boo, I'll take the Halloween to you whatever time of year.
Welcome.
All right, so quick review of our ratings. We've actually got some pretty easy ones. Your relative average of all three movies was a 6.3.
Oh, nice. That seems so fair.
Yeah. I feel like that kind of represents how you have felt all the way through, where you're like, yeah, it's all right, but like, I'm not totally into it.
Yeah. The last one, yeah.
Well, and then for me, I'm at 7.3, so 1 point higher than you, and I feel like my enthusiasm is also 1 point higher than yours, where there are things that annoy me to no end, but at the same time, I'm like, I kind of like this franchise. I'm glad it's around.
I think it's a nice, different, what would be the word, disaster, happening, because there's like tornadoes, there's asteroids, there's all sorts of stuff, but monsters that hear you.
Yeah, this feels like a disaster. Society has to change suddenly, because it's not it's not much of a horror franchise.
It's a mildly, I feel like the second one maybe had more. The first one, just the tension of the baby, but then I feel like there's more guts in the second one.
Yeah, and the third one, the prequel, I don't think they even tried to do horror. I think it's a genre fusion of horror and drama.
Yeah,
like we see a lot of horror comedies or horror action movies. I think this is the first time I could say I have watched something that is a horror drama, where like they want me to feel for these characters.
I think they do a fair job on this last one.
I don't like Eric, but I love Sam. She's pretty dope.
Yeah.
All right. And then the final thing, relative show average for all three movies was a 6.8. Fine, whatever.
Do we like it more than we like the Bond series?
I think so, and that's so shocking to me to this day that like the Bond series, the catalyst for this podcast, both of us were averaging at around a 5.
Just like there's just so much volume, it just kind of brings it back towards average. But
that is true. You've got a lot more movies to choose from in that franchise with over 25. I think they had 26 maybe. Like there were well over 20 movies. This one has 3 movies.
4?
Like 3 at this point. Fourth one in 2 years. Let me pull up my information. First off, dear audience, I don't know if it changed recently or if I am just misremembering, but I could have sworn there was going to be A Quiet Place Part 4, but According to Wikipedia, there has only ever been plans for A Quiet Place Part 3, which was going to be the conclusion of the franchise.
They saved the world somehow.
I mean, that seems like the natural next step based on the main franchise, the main story arc. We had them discovering the weakness, then discovering safety, and now, like, why not bring the fight back and weaponize this sound? They already put it on the radio, so other people can try to replicate or use that sound.
Man, I don't know what you'd have to just go for the fusion of horror and action. Because, like, these two, I would say that Eric made it to the island place, but then there's a crisis at the island.
And I don't remember seeing him, so I mean, he could be alive, he could be, but there was a crisis, and a lot of people got murdered that day.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, Reagan killed the alien with her blunt object that she
straight through
its head.
Slashed and then merged through.
That is so funny to me. And so, we've had 2 movies that have promised like a big action sequel, and neither of them have delivered. So why not? Why not give it to us in A Quiet Place Part 3? I doubt they will. I think they're going to try to stay with the rest of the franchise. But, I'm ready to go to the Navy. I'm ready to see the air carriers that have finally figured out the weapon that's going to work.
I mean, even if it becomes a drama, show me the day 1 and 2 intro of the people that run these helicopters in the last one. Like, show me them World War Z. Like, I think Part 2 intro did a great job of, family seeing the asteroid and all of that prequel to its own show. So I say take us somewhere else. I can't think of who it would be, but I don't think we really even see any. We see military presence, but we don't see any sort of command, which I was fine with in the last one. Like, military's there, but nobody's a figurehead of what's happening.
I'm going to tell you what I think A Quiet Place Part 3 will be. I think it is going to be like the next day and something destroys the radio. And now they have to figure out how to make the new cochlear implant that has that specific feedback frequency. Or just anything that makes that specific feedback frequency. And it's going to have another unsatisfying ending of the kids or the family being ready to fight. Yeah.
Fight off the invaders. Like, well, let's make it happen so we can wrap this up. Overcome.
I am 90% positive that it's going to be about the family again. Because why call it Part 3 if you don't follow the same family? And who knows, maybe Eric will be the male figure in this movie.
Maybe. Does Cillian Murphy... He doesn't die. No, he's helping out at the radio. I was trying to remember what happened.
He's alive at the end.
He gets torn up by the monster, like on his leg or something.
The mother got a spike through the leg with one of the monsters.
Oh, right.
And then I think Cillian Murphy got thrown against a wall, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember. I know he didn't die because neither parent died, but I think the mother looked like she should have. That's a big wound right in the leg.
Medical attention and stopping the bleeding is probably not going to go well. But we can just disappear that like the other 2 monsters that were racing in. That didn't actually happen.
Let's get into what we remember about the previous movies, because I know recency bias is going to help day one, but what do you remember about the first movie? What stood out to you? What stays in your mind? What's there still?
The family, I think, is the point of the movie. I think the baby feels like whatever you call those plot devices. It it's the arc of it being born and preparing for that kind of give it a reason to exist in the movie, but at least in the second one, it exists for not many purposes of like of the story.
Yeah. He's a problem 3 times, and otherwise the baby barely exists.
Baby, family, and a little bit of grief, remorse. Like in an apocalypse, when you have these horrible things happen that aren't necessarily related to the monsters, like how do you get okay? So I think it was a horror drama, like you say.
You know, I think the thing that stands out to me about the first one more than anything else, and it's still the thing that I think makes it so special, is the fact that it was a silent movie in 2018 where the audience had to read most of the dialogue, just like they would have had to do 100 years ago. And so I think about that as being such an interesting concept for a movie. But it doesn't have a lot of tension. It doesn't have a lot of horror. Definitely doesn't have a lot of spooks. And then the second one, I feel like got rid of the silent movie aspect because they almost never use sign language to speak anymore. Like they've found a way to just talk for the whole movie.
It's got to be under the concrete or something. I
yes. Or hanging out with a deaf girl and you don't know how to sign, so you can't.
It's okay to talk.
Yeah. But at the same time, I feel like they were able to find some horror in that movie. And then I think day one was so heavy on the drama and almost took it for granted that the audiences knew what the creature was. It's almost like a modern day Alien movie where it doesn't even try to be scary anymore. They're just like, yeah, they're xenomorphs. They're cool. Let's watch them.
They'll pop out at places here and there.
There might be a jump scare once or twice, but what we're really into is the special effects and the acid and all that other stuff. And I feel like with day one, there's not a lot of scary stuff to it, except maybe the initial invasion. And then after that, it's really just a drama about these characters trying to survive the end of the world. I don't know. What about you? What stands out for part two or day one?
Let's see. Part two. I think the one thing that I could point to from part two would be maybe the annoyance of the family. Like, I know part two is meant to follow after the first one. So we have to follow this family. Yep. I think the change to day one where we don't have to follow this family helped it because like now they've successfully made it through one encounter when people don't really survive any encounters. And then they lose all their security, and like the reason of the movie is getting pushed out of their home. But really, like, I don't feel like I don't know. I guess the girl does bring the cordless amplifier because she's on a mission to
wireless amplifier
save the world, but it also felt just like, well, we're leaving our safety because we can't stay there anymore. Maybe we could have stayed for a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, like the house was fine.
Yeah.
There were a lot of things that were fine.
Yeah. The wherever that they had the amplifier was fine. Yeah, that's the house. Yeah. So I mean, there's not too much that I loved about the second one that stuck with me. As kind of maybe I enjoyed the fact that there was an island that had peace again. It's
Hmm.
unfortunate that they brought the monster with them. Kind of a uh, kind of feels good that it's, well, you can't escape the apocalypse forever. Yeah, you're on an island, but these things can still just show up. Um, and one is basically invincible, so I mean, you probably should
Yeah.
have hunkered down a little bit, made a couple more plans of what's going to happen.
Yeah, kind of put some sort of security in place so you would
Yeah.
know if a boat came drifting up.
Honestly, just put something on the other end of the island that constantly makes noise intermittently. So you
Mm,
lure the stuff over there, put it,
or little
uh,
buoys that are
yeah,
placed outside in the
yeah,
water.
some sort of defense. But yeah. So second one, not something I'm keen on remembering much from. I think the ending action sequence, aside from slashing with a blunt object, was cool and well lit and cool graphics. Um, but I think the third movie outshines it with um, just the scale of the city, and we get to see more
Mm,
things happening than one person getting chased down and horrifically murdered. I
yeah.
love the sea of people trying to walk quietly down the road. And like, I feel like that would kind of act like a river, and
Oh yeah.
maybe the monster wouldn't have jumped in. Because
Oh.
it's just such a loud, same tone. But I could see
Mm-hmm.
like somebody says one thing and the monster is reason to believe to jump after them. So that
Yeah.
one,
I don't know what would have caused them to show up. Maybe they've got the memory that this didn't make that noise before.
yeah.
But that's me speaking in defense of monsters that I know nothing about except that they have a sense of hearing and that they eat mushrooms. And that's all I know about them.
Random fungus. It's orange though, so it's otherworldly.
Yeah.
Aside
Yeah.
from
Who's ever
the
heard of an orange?
river of people, um, I think I like the arc of someone that survives 48 hours to go after the one thing they want to see before they die,
Mm-hmm.
even though it's in the middle of an apocalypse. They
Yeah.
push through this one last horrible thing, because I imagine they've pushed through all of the pain already, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like, well, now the world's ending, so add that to your plate and make it through. And she does. Like, kudos, you did an amazing job.
I really like it's so funny to me that she wants the last pizza that exists, but every day that she can't get that pizza, it is getting grosser. And yet she still eats the pizza when she gets it on day 4 or whatever. And it's like conceptually it's so gross, but at
Oh
the
yeah.
same time it's such a victory. It feels
Yeah,
like we've won.
it's about sending a message.
Yes, it's the moral victories.
Aside from that, I'm trying to think of what else. Did you give your shining bits of the third one?
Yeah, I think I mostly agree with you. I love the fact that we are not following the same family.
Yeah.
Because that family kind of annoys me. I'm sorry, they do. And so I was just happy to see different characters. I really loved the character of Sam, played by Lupita Nyong'o. I think she did a wonderful job, and she carried this movie. I feel like the character of Alex sucks, and I didn't need him.
Yeah.
um, I really like that we had the scale of a lot more aliens to contend with. We've got stampedes, we've got them
Yeah.
crawling over buildings. And that clearly comes from having a larger budget, but it's not that much larger a budget than the previous movie. Huge budget increase from the first movie, but not as big from the last movie. And I feel like they did more with the budget in the third one than they did in the second one. So
Yeah.
I think the creature effects just keep getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They looked good. They looked good. I think the stampede is a highlight of the monsters. I wasn't much for the fog appearance of them. I mean, they exist. We know what they are. Don't have to hide them.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm a sucker for some tropes and, obscuring the vision. It allows you to have scary moments, but like I said earlier, that's like the only scary moment in the whole movie. You just can't hold it. You just can't keep scaring people with a concept that they got from the first movie,
And if we want to expand on the things you like about other franchises, I think seeing the extra behavior of these extraterrestrials adds to, I guess you would call it, the lore of what they are. They can stampede. Mm-hmm. They can't hear regular talking when there's a lightning storm. Like, that one I can get. I don't know that I would still scream just because it's like, well, that's, you don't know how long or when the lightning's coming.
As much as I love it because it's such a cathartic moment, I do think about the fact that there is almost no way to predict when the thunder will come. Like, you see the flash of light, doesn't tell you when the thunder's gonna happen. Like,
I'd almost have loved to see some dead creatures around from the lightning strikes and all the super big noises. Like, that would have been cool, because
like one of them climbed up to a radio tower and then got zapped.
Yeah, just got cooked or shaken out by the huge thunder noise. Like, that would be interesting to add, but I don't know where you would have put it.
Yeah, it would have to be a cutaway, and they didn't do a lot of that in the movie. The only times I can really think of it are the wide shots, but technically our main character was still in those shots. Like, when they have the helicopters coming to say, hey, everybody should go north, technically Sam is still in the shot because, we're shooting from overhead. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, I think every other shot had one of our leading characters in it, whether that be Sam, Eric, or the cat.
The cat.
Yes.
Cats would not survive this. I mean, nice, quiet cats.
I was going to say, most cats that I have ever lived with have been quiet cats. Whether they have been my cats or a roommate's cat, they have just... It is rare to hear them meow. I have owned one vocal cat, and it was a little bit annoying because it was always vocal. But most of the cats that I've had or lived with have been just silent, So I think the cat would have lived. As long as there's no bell on the collar, I think they've got it.
Yeah. Well, that's my estimation of the three movies. Peak, Valley, Peak.
And I feel like it's mostly level ground for me with a small bump in the middle because I enjoyed the spookums of the middle. But I really do find it interesting that they gave up on the silent film shtick after the first movie. Like, they never come back to that anymore. And that was such an interesting concept. And I guess maybe it just got too challenging to tell complicated stories with sign language.
I could have gone the route of writing stuff on note papers and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, but people feel like whispering is fine, and they do it for the last two movies, and whatever, that's fine. But I'm still on board. July 30th, 2027 is the announced release date. They had another release date that was July 9th, but Superman Man of Tomorrow is scheduled to release that either that day or that weekend, so they pushed it back 3 weeks. Yeah. And I can totally see where they are coming from. Yeah. Like this is a big franchise with a fourth movie in the franchise coming out. You don't want it overshadowed by a superhero movie.
Even if they manage to make a reasonable amount of money over how much it costs to make it.
Do you think that they should cut back on the budget? Do you think they should make it smaller scale?
I think if it did go back to following one person, if it follows the family again, I could see maybe, but I just think that don't want to blame the baby, but man, the baby just throws a wrench into them trying to save everyone. Like maybe passing the baton through the radio would be great, because I do like the silent film aspect, because you are there listening and watching, and I do think they've muddied the water a little bit with how well they can hear, because it was pretty easy to say in the first movie, this rocket ship that makes lights and buzzes would attract one of these creatures because it is super loud. But apparently, if you breathe close to these monsters, they can't hear you or your heartbeat. So, I would say, sure, do the silent movie one so that people get drawn into it. Maybe do flashbacks where people can talk, and so you can be informed of why someone's heading north. Like, I think you could maybe work something like that. Can't try to think of any movie that would do that, but like maybe they worked at the CDC or stuff like that.
You really want a World War Z?
Yeah.
See, and I'm looking at the two children and Marcus, the panicky child.
Yeah.
He's now 20 years old, and he looks very different than when he was in A Quiet Place. It has been like 5 years since the last main entry in the movie. So if they're going to keep coming back to the same family, they've got to explain either a time jump or, I don't know, are they just going to be so delusional as to be like, Noah can still play a 14-year-old.
I don't know. I would say no. Don't.
Yeah.
So pass the baton, someone else does it, and make another movie that I feel like isn't there like a series about the hauntings where maybe it's the same characters, but they go to different houses, or it's not necessarily the same characters. I feel like other franchises.
Yeah, there are a lot of franchises that will either switch out the characters or they'll keep one character. I mean, almost every slasher movie has an entirely new cast from movie to movie. Even the person playing the killer is a different person oftentimes, unless we're talking like Jigsaw or Freddy Krueger or Chucky, where it's a very distinguishable actor who has to play that part. Mm-hmm. But if you're talking like Halloween, you could put any big man in the Michael Myers suit and just have a whole new cast, no expectations for what's going to happen while making the movie. And then, a total surprise for the cast and the audience when they come out in the future. And why not do that with a part 3? Whole new cast. We know it's going to be John Krasinski directing, screenplay writing, and story. And right now he is listed as the main producer for A Quiet Place Part 3. So it's his name across the board. So the question becomes, does he have the courage to not focus on his quote unquote family for the third movie? Because he can't be in the movie if it's not about his family.
Yeah, I think just logically, I would say, yeah, don't go the route of the family where everybody's older and changed unless you're jumping ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe
And
you
who
jump
knows?
ahead.
Maybe they are.
Yeah.
Maybe we are going to have a pretty dramatic time jump.
You could focus on 3 different stories if she wants to go. If the daughter wants to go save the world, maybe she can go do that. And the mom somehow gets the baby to the island and survives. I think it would resolve a couple of the hanging problems of the second movie.
And maybe Marcus can become an action star like his dad wanted him to be. He will have the most dramatic change of character, going from constantly scared of everything to being like, hoorah, I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Could be. They should ask us.
Yeah, why aren't we the ones making this movie? I think it is going to be the family. We don't know anything about A Quiet Place Part 3. At this point, it has a release date, but not much else. But Paramount Pictures is not typically one to back down from a franchise. And I talk about how they made less money with every movie, but every one was hundreds of millions of dollars profitable. Like the least profitable one made a profit of $199 million. Like it did all right.
Yeah, that's not
or not
bad.
99. Sorry. It did 195 million. I did bad math in my head by a lot. I saw the wrong number entirely.
Yeah, I think they did all right. That's where, like, if you shrink the budget, maybe you'll do great comparatively.
Maybe. But even if you don't, even if you go up to 70 million and you made like 250 million, you're still making over $150 million in profit.
You gotta pay the actors though, man. I don't know.
But that's the thing. Like, that's what the budget is. That includes the actors, the special effects, the producers. Well, like usually the producers are the ones giving the money, but the writers, directors, and actors and set and all that stuff gets paid from the budget, and then residuals will go out to producers and actors and other people who worked on it on a percentage scale. So John Krasinski, assuming that he remains the sole producer, he will get a huge percentage for being a producer, then a smaller but still large percentage for being the director, and then another smaller but still large one for being a writer, and then he'll probably get one if he appears on camera, and he'll get one for being an actor too. Like,
all the things.
So the profits, yes, the profits have to be split up. And that's where a lot of people get mad. But the fact that there are profits is good. Like nobody lost money on the last ones.
I don't think so. I mean, couldn't have marked it that hard.
All of them made hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't know. I am hopeful for the next one, but a little part of me worries that like I'm sitting here saying we are going to do a review for part 3 and then that never happens.
I mean, we'll promise it and we'll see if it does happen. Not our fault. We're not making the movie.
Yeah, we didn't make the dang movie. Well, I don't know if you remember what our calendar is, but I'm going to spoil for the audience, and I'll probably put a tag at the beginning of the next franchise. We pre-recorded the next 2 franchises. Technically, we haven't started the second franchise in terms of recording, but by the time that comes out, it will have been recorded for at least a month in advance. we're a smaller podcast. We don't have a very large reach at all. And when it comes to algorithms, the smaller you are, the more dedicated you have to be to your schedule. Like you're allowed to try different release dates and stuff, but if you suddenly take a break, you get dinged and you don't get to put, you don't get the same reach that you had. You don't get to be recommended. And so a lot of people will either pre-record or they will put out a best of and then take their time off. And that's kind of what we're going to do, except it is going to be with 2 new franchises.
Yeah.
And do you want to reveal what the next franchise is so that the audience can at least watch before they hear our reviews?
I mean,
have you forgotten?
well, no, I think it's the vampires, right?
It is.
But there are lots of vampires, so let's slow feed this one. There are vampires and werewolves. I mean, it's like a Guess Who sort of situation. You know, this could be Twilight. We don't know.
2/3 of our audience has guessed what it is now, and then the 1/3 is like, ooh, maybe it is that other one.
Twilight, you know, who else is vampires and werewolves? I think.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Vampires and werewolves happens in that Zombies Disney Channel movie franchise. At least my kids know about that one.
Yeah, I think I have seen a thumbnail for it. And those, that's the other thing I want to bring up, because when we do come back, we've already got the next couple of franchises planned. But eventually we're going to run into a snag where we get to a franchise that puts out a major release as a made-for-TV thing or a direct-to-video thing. And so I think we need to open it up and just say movies.
Yeah.
Like no series, that's going to be where I draw a hard line. So I'm sorry, MCU, but as good as WandaVision is, it will never appear on this podcast. But I do think Prey or some of those horror franchises that only go to direct to video, I think we should include those as franchises.
I think it gives us more opportunity to not have to focus on, get to focus on things like maybe I don't know. Did we include the Animatrix in that suggestion, or did we cut that one?
Ooh, see, that's where we are still struggling, because what do you do with an anthology? There are good ones out there. The Predator franchise recently had one.
Yeah, we couldn't do like Love, Death, and Robots, but that's fine.
Because that's a genuine series. But Animatrix or Hunter of Hunters, those are contained in a single thing that you press play on, and then you watch it from start to finish. And even though it's individual stories, you're still meant to watch it from start to finish. So I don't know. Until we get to the Matrix, I'm going to push that down the road and say we'll have to keep discussing it.
Our next franchise is the Underworld franchise. Came out initially in 2003, so we're going back 22 years. And the last one came out 2016, so it does span a good decade.
Yeah,
we'll have to see what we think of it.
Years. Yeah. He says cheekily, knowing full well. But yeah, I'm excited for it. There's a lot of people who love the Underworld franchise. I remember my strongest memory with the Underworld franchise. I think I only saw one of them in theaters, and then I think most of them I just saw bits and pieces. I might have watched one of them all the way through, but they were on television. Like, I think TBS was always showing it. And so whether I was with my roommate or later when I was married and hanging out with my father-in-law, we were usually watching Underworld on television. Nobody ever bought it. We just watched it on TV with commercials.
Like it was a bit of a mainstay on TV.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it'll be fun to relive this vampire Lycan feud that everybody loves so much. But yeah, I don't think I have anything more to say about A Quiet Place, and I don't want to spoil anything for Underworld. Like,
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any because we covered most of what's coming up for, could be coming up for Quiet Place. I do think, how you say, we run into a franchise that has a major release coming out. Did you mean in the sense of like out in theaters while we're recording, or did you mean, yeah?
I don't remember what did I say about
Yeah, I think it was around when you were talking about expanding what we needed to include.
Oh,
But I think I don't know if any of our current planned franchises have any that is coming out soon enough in 2026 to give us any trouble.
There is one franchise on the calendar, and it's the last franchise on the calendar because we are mostly booked up until July, like the beginning of July.
Nice.
You need to pick out a 4-movie franchise.
Suggested Piranha. Let's see, what was the other one I thought of?
And that was it, because Piranha had some made for video movies. And it was like, mostly we should include those.
Ridiculous suggestion, because I'd almost rather watch The Predator again, because I think I watched the first Predator like mostly on TV, so it got a lot of stuff cut out. And the second one, I think we watched some random place that had it on like VHS. So my father wanted to watch it, and I was like, sure, I like The Predators. And then, I mean, I don't know how many more. That's probably not a 4, is it?
I think it's at 6 if we include Hunter of Hunters.
Gotta cut it down. I'll have to find one.
Yep.
No, you'll
have to find one.
Good.
And I know you also threw out Shrek, but I'm going to say the spin-off franchise for Puss in Boots has to be included, because it's the same animation style, same character, same actor.
Fun to review.
In universe.
Yeah, fun to rate that one. That one, brilliant.
Yeah. I really loved Last Wish, so I do want to do Shrek when we do Shrek, because I loved the second Puss in Boots movie. I was like, this movie is amazing.
Fantastic. It is a great one.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if you are listening right now and you've got a 4-movie franchise in mind, go ahead and drop it in a comment. Yeah, let us know. You can also hit that follow button or like. I don't know which podcatcher you are listening on, but if they allow you to interact with us, now would be a good time to do it, because why not help us out? An even bigger way to help us out is to share with your family or friends. Find the episodes that you love the most, or the franchises that they like the most, and send them the first episode when we get to it, or send them the ones that you're listening to now. You know, all of that stuff. Sharing is just a really good way to show that you are caring. And of course, we make shorts on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And then finally, you can email us at potatochippicturespod@gmail.com, especially if you've got a 4-movie franchise that you're like, this is the one, you've got to check it out. We have expanded. We are now allowing made-for-TV and direct-to-video or direct-to-streaming, so feel free to send the wildest 4-movie franchise you can think of. Yeah.
I feel like 4, narrows it down to things that kind of petered out, and then things that are kind of brand new. So do whatever, do anything.
There are a lot of 4-movie franchises out there, and I do think that we will find one that's good. I picked a 4-movie franchise. I don't want to reveal what it is, but I'm so excited to get to it. I'm very excited for the schedule that we have. There are some open windows, and then, as always, if you reach out to us with a franchise suggestion, we're probably going to be so excited that we change the entire schedule just to accommodate the audience.
Probably 2026.
We got a
but
suggestion.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. The next two are locked in because they're already recorded. Well, the next one is already recorded. The next one will be recorded by the time it comes out. But then after that, you can contact us and we are likely to want to incorporate whatever you suggest. So I think that's everything. I think that's... Oh, yeah. I forgot one thing that's kind of dumb. There was a Quiet Place video game in 2024.
Have to play it.
I don't know anything about it.
See if there's a demo.
Yeah. See if it's out there. See if it's worth checking out. But I never heard of it. I was kind of surprised to see that it existed. So that concludes every thought that I had about A Quiet Place.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, well, with that, let's see if we can do it together. Shut up!
I thought you were saying
know I did it alone again. I know I did it alone again.
I know you said shh, and then I was like, is he queuing something up? No. Wanted us to say shut up together, but it's so hard to just time that. Have a good day or night, however you're listening to our podcast. Thanks for joining. Thanks for listening.
Listen with headphones so the death angels don't get you. Goodbye.